So Sneako and Penguin Zero, Critikal, had a 2-hour debate recently, and I haven't seen the entirety of it, nor do I plan to, because I can't even handle 2 minutes of Sneako, let alone 2 hours, so no thank you. Which, first things first, way to pick the low-hanging fruit, because I don't think Critikal is even an experienced debater. He certainly wasn't from the clips of this I've seen. He just seemed lost while Sneako was going off about his very apparent desire to marry teenagers, which I suppose is a natural reaction in all fairness. Anyway, there's a clip from this that's gone viral that so many people are freaking out about. In the clip, Sneako asks Critikal, so a child can consent to chopping their penis off, taking HRT and hormone blockers, but they can't consent to getting married? Which is a very stupid hypothetical because that just doesn't fucking happen. Doctors aren't like, let's cut little Timmy's junk off because one time he went in mommy's closet and tried on one of her dresses. When a child is showing clear signs of gender dysphoria, they typically go through social transitioning first, i.e. going by a different name, pronouns, and changing the way they present themselves in general, before they are old enough to give informed consent to any physical and permanent treatment. And before said treatment occurs, a minor typically goes through years of therapy, years of speaking with medical professionals about the feelings they have, before medical professionals deem medically transitioning beneficial to the individual. And chances are that minor isn't even a minor anymore when they do begin medically transitioning. And Critikal falls for the trap and says, yes, if a child consents to having their genitalia cut off and their parents also consent to this, there is no issue. Which, I don't even know why the fuck he agreed to do this. His channel is the most normie, apolitical channel out there, and that is likely who he really is in real life, so I can't really fault him for not being the most educated on issues pertaining to trans people, or gender-affirming care that minors usually receive. But he should have known his limitations on these sorts of issues and not agreed to a discussion where these sorts of subjects will be brought up. But anyway, Sneako is so opposed to the idea of a minor with gender dysphoria receiving gender-affirming care. Meanwhile, he is perfectly okay with the idea of a minor marrying an adult, so long as everything is consensual. I don't know about you, but I find that to be the much bigger issue when it comes to what was said in this debate. A grown man with a large platform, whose fan base largely consists of minors, saying that he has no problem with the idea of a minor marrying an adult. And I see a lot of Sneako fans under the clip where he says this saying, Sneako W, he's 100% right. And this just further solidifies how this anti-trans crusade has fucking nothing to do with protecting minors. You're going to say the trans community are the groomers and need to stay away from children when this is the garbage that you agree with? Sneako himself gave Critikal shit for not talking about the Ava Chris Tyson allegations the nanosecond they dropped, and accused him of protecting a predator, even though Critikal of course did end up talking about that situation, and Sneako ended up looking like a giant ass like he always does. But you have no moral ground to stand on when it comes to being against grooming and child exploitation, when you're constantly trying to rationalize the concept of an adult having a romantic relationship with a teenager, and also saying shit like you enjoy the Cuties movie. And I see even the Quartering made a video about this when he was ride or die with Dr. Disrespect when it first came out that he was having inappropriate interactions with a minor, and he is still openly supporting Dr. Disrespect even after Dr. Disrespect himself confirmed that he was having inappropriate exchanges with a minor. So how can I take this anti-trans groomer shit seriously when so many of the prominent faces of it selectively choose what instances of a minor getting creeped on they get mad at, and many of them have sketchy views themselves concerning how an adult can interact with a minor. And going back to the Dr. Disrespect situation, I saw so many people say shit like, well, the minor was 17, which was never confirmed, by the way. That's close enough to legal age, and is considered legal age in many states in this country, so what is the issue with a man in his 30s interacting inappropriately with someone who is nearly 20 years younger than him? I guarantee you, if Dr. Disrespect were a trans content creator, you would not see a lot of these same people dashing to his defense. Most people who perpetuate the narrative that all trans people are groomers don't really care about the safety of minors. It is all about normalizing their bigotry against trans people first and foremost. They want to disguise their transphobia as a noble cause that is all about protecting children. Meanwhile, you have anti-trans crusaders like Sneako saying that there is no problem with teenagers having sex with with adults. But yes, let's get disproportionately angry at Critikal, someone who probably doesn't even know the first fucking thing about trans issues and gender-affirming care. Anyway, fuck Sneako, and whenever the day comes where it's unearthed that he has a CP collection or is grooming minors in DMs, no one, absolutely no one, should be shocked. That's all I have to say. Bye-bye.